And Channel 9 has learned 2 CMP officers, a Charlotte Fire Department employee, and a medic worker have tested positive for the coronavirus. Thank you for joining us. I'm Susanna Black.
And I'm Damani Lewis. Let's not waste any time and bring in Channel 9's Allison Lalas, who broke the news that 2 officers tested positive this afternoon on Twitter. And Allison, you've also learned more than a dozen will now be on administrative leave.
Yes, 14 other officers are now on quarantine. They are following protocol in doing that. At 2:20 this afternoon, Chief Kirkputney sent out an email to the entire Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department. He wouldn't reveal the names of the officers who tested positive or the ones now in quarantine, but said he was notifying the department to communicate the seriousness of this pandemic and how it is impacting first responders locally. And less than an hour later, Deputy Chief Jeff Estes gave an update during the COVID-19 Mecklenburg County virtual update, and this is what he had to say about his fellow officers who are now fighting the virus.
We are not immune. Our own CMPD family, we've had 2 officers who have tested positive for COVID. We're working very closely with our healthcare leadership in the processes to make sure they're safe and well and that they can get back to work very soon.
A few other details still aren't clear tonight, which divisions those officers worked in and if they in fact contracted coronavirus on the job. But now that we have community spread here in Mecklenburg County, that would be really hard to pinpoint. Chief Putney did say the numbers would be updated to the department every single day. Back to you, Damani.
All right, Allison, thank you so much for that report. Well, the big question on everyone's mind, should you wear a mask in public? Well, it's been a debate since the pandemic started, and the CDC is considering changing its opinion and recommending people wear them when they leave their home. But with so many going to hospitals to people on the front line, Channel 9's Mark Becker started asking if you or where could you find one of these masks?
Well, the short answer to that question, Damani, is good luck. We were looking and can't find anywhere that even sells these flimsy masks like this one. But I can tell you this, we've been out all day and seen a lot of people already wearing them.
This is my first time wearing it, but I was going to the grocery store, so I wanted to be careful.
Nancy Udell was just getting used to this whole face mask thing. She's not sick, but since we're hearing now that the virus can spread simply by breathing, she thought it was the right thing to do.
Anything we do that keeps air separate from each other right now is the best way to go.
We certainly saw more people wearing masks today than just a few days ago, but most we spoke with already had them on hand.
Yeah, I just need to find where I can get some decent ones. This is just something I'll wear in the yard, cutting the grass.
And if or when masks become mandatory, good luck trying to find one. I'm calling to see if you have face masks for sale.
We're out of face masks, gloves, sanitizer, paper goods.
We called several major retailers who told us they're all out. And what masks are out there will probably be headed for hospitals and emergency workers.
We've done a total of probably 160 or more now. We're getting faster.
Heidi Cordova and her mother and neighbors have been sewing masks on the kitchen table. But like many others, they're headed for people who need them most.
We're doing it for healthcare workers. We've heard healthcare workers are having to reuse masks, but if they're faced with nothing, my research says these double-layer fabric cotton masks do 50%.
So we're waiting to hear about everyone else, all the rest of us. These masks are certainly very flimsy. They're designed to be used once. I did find some online, but be prepared to pay. I found they're as much as $1 a piece, and if you use it once and throw it away, that can add up pretty quickly. Damani?
That is absolutely right. Mark Becker reporting live for us tonight. Thank you, Mark.
Governor Gov Cooper stressed today manufacturing companies need to shift their operations as the state aggressively tracks down masks and other items. He says those companies need to help make masks, gloves, gowns, and other essential items to protect healthcare workers. The governor also asked people to stay home this weekend instead of flooding parks and greenways. Dr. Mandy Cohen also stressed you should only be out if you need groceries or medicine or you're an essential worker. According to the state, there are more than 2,000 cases now, including nearly 600 alone in Mecklenburg County. Sadly, 19 people have died statewide, including one person in Catawba County today. In South Carolina, 1,700 people have tested positive, and sadly, 34 patients have died from the virus.
As Mecklenburg County is preparing for the number of cases to continue to rise, we're learning more about a field hospital planned at UNC Charlotte. Channel 9's Joe Bruno asked officials how that would work and the patients that would be treated there. And he joins us live now with what he's learned. Joe.
Well, County Manager Dina DiOrio confirmed to me that it is possible coronavirus patients will be treated on the campus of UNC Charlotte. We first told you about this yesterday. Hospital executives are asking for a mass care site at UNC Charlotte because they say we will be 3,000 beds short when the surge of COVID-19 cases hits. Over the next 2 weekends, UNCC is clearing 6 dorms in the South Village. Local officials say they are doing everything they can to make sure they have enough personal protective gear for the staff that will be needed at this site. County Manager Dina DiOrio stressed Mecklenburg is not immune from the shortages of PPE. While the field site will look and feel different, DiOrio is stressing this will be treated like any other hospital in the community.
When this pandemic is over, those dorms will be restored to their original state, and they will be made available for UNC Charlotte and their students.
Now, if no one follows social distancing rules, that surge could be here as soon as April 25th. But if people do follow these social distancing standards, the surge will probably get here around May 11th, according to county officials. Susanna?
An Atrium employee reached out to Channel 9 about changes he believes could be putting people at risk. He says Atrium is now allowing healthcare workers who've been exposed to the virus but aren't showing symptoms to continue working as long as they wear a face mask. Our Tina Terry took these concerns to the CDC to find out if they're acceptable.
Ever since this pandemic started, we have heard that even people who don't show symptoms can spread the virus. So today we pushed to find out if and why employees who have been exposed would be allowed to work. That Atrium employee wants to remain anonymous, but in an email to Channel 9, he painted a picture of what's going on inside Atrium facilities as they fight COVID-19. They're rationing masks, he said. Employees do not have access to masks or Lysol products. These are locked up and rationed at management's discretion only when they're present in the office. He also sent us this copy of what he called a new Atrium policy. It says we are now allowing asymptomatic, exposed healthcare workers to work while wearing a face mask for 14 days after exposure. We asked Atrium why healthcare workers who've been exposed would be allowed to work. They didn't offer a direct response, so I contacted the Centers for Disease Control. It showed me this CDC guidance, which says facilities should consider allowing asymptomatic workers to continue to work after options to improve staffing have been exhausted. The CDC also acknowledges a lack of personal protective equipment for healthcare workers. This guidance encourages rationing supplies and says facilities with shortages should even consider using intact PPE that is beyond the manufacturer designated shelf life. Yeah, Atrium did not comment on the staffing situation or on PPE shortages. They did send us a statement, and it basically said that they are following CDC guidelines for all testing and PPE equipment use. If you want to take a look at their full statement, visit this story on our WSOC TV mobile app. Back to you at the desk.
Well, staggering new numbers out today show what we all feared. The federal government released job numbers for March, and the country lost more than 700,000 jobs. Action 9 investigator Jason Sujenki puts that into perspective.
Well, we lost 701,000 jobs, the worst since the Great Recession. Now, in February, the unemployment rate was 3.5%, the lowest in 50 years. Well, in March, it jumped to 4.4%. And those figures may be low because the government gathered its data around the middle of March, and we all know how bad it got the second half of the month. So we really have to wait until May to see April's numbers. And economists expect 20 million job losses or more at that point. That would be a record, and they predict the unemployment rate to more than triple to around 15%. That would be the highest since the 1930s. Now, the hardest hit, service workers, like those who work in restaurants and hotels. Now, some economists believe it could take 3 to 5 years for Wall Street to bounce back, and that would probably impact our everyday lives. But many are trying to stay optimistic. Congress and the Federal Reserve have taken steps to stop the bleeding. Of course, we're talking about low interest rates, more unemployment benefits, and of course, stimulus checks. The Treasury Secretary says you could see direct deposits in as early as 2 weeks. He also says the administration could be on board if we need yet another relief package.
Well, Charlotte Mecklenburg police have charged a business manager for refusing to close. Officers got a tip Wednesday that the Cool Cave Day Spa on Monroe Road was open despite the state's stay-at-home order. Officers said they asked the business to close twice before citing the manager. Mecklenburg County's residents can report violations of the stay-at-home order by calling 311. Well, new in the last 45 minutes, Hobby Lobby announced it will close all of its stores at 8 tonight and keep them closed until further notice. The chain will also furlough almost all of its store workers and a large number of workers in distribution until at least May 1st. People reached out to Channel 9 asking why the store on Matthews Township Parkway was still open today, even though the county considered it non-essential.
Well, it's a beautiful Friday evening and really shaping up to be a nice weekend. But today, state and county leaders repeatedly said that they do not want to see people at parks and lakes like last weekend. Channel 9's Tony Sadiku is at Lake Norman State Park.
Yeah, we got a gorgeous weekend ahead, and just like last weekend, a lot of folks may want to hit the lake or take the boat out to get some fresh air. And while it's allowed, law enforcement really wants people to take social distancing guidelines seriously and not gather in large groups. Cornelius Police says its officers will be patrolling the lake this weekend like they normally do and will be looking for people not following social distancing guidelines. Chief Black says that includes reminding people that keeping 6 feet apart applies on your boat as well.
We're educating the public, we're educating boaters on what the order means. However, if voluntary cooperation is not reached, we do have the authority to issue citations and or make misdemeanor arrests.
The bottom line is officers want what everybody wants, to slow the spread of the coronavirus while still getting a chance to enjoy the lake and enjoy the nice weather.